And we are rolling. Tell everybody what your name is.
Hi, I'm Alex King. You can find me on YouTube at Alex King Maybe Crazy. That's AlexKing. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, maybe crazy. And yeah, I've been here for almost 3 years. You can usually find me in between the Palazzo and the Wind on that bridge right there, on that connecting road of Sands in
That
Las
bridge.
Vegas. And I'm usually out there every morning of every day, and I probably leave around about 12, 1 o'clock, and then come back around 3 o'clock and stay till about 6 o'clock, and then I call that a day. And yeah, I've been, like I said, for almost 3 years. Met my wife, got married. We've been together for a year and 2 months now.
Right.
October's our anniversary, Halloween, and yeah, it's our living, man. Facing adulthood, I'm originally from South Carolina, so living prices and all that stuff, it was nothing where I could sing and pay my bills. I couldn't do it. So I moved out at 23 and I said, hey, I'm gonna go out here, and I probably had $150 in my pocket and a guitar, and I came and I sang and I made enough every night to get a hotel room, and then I went back home for a little bit and then made enough money to actually come out here and have a foundation. So I got me a weekly apartment and just been paying on that every week for the past 3 years and keeping it maintained, and trying to support my wife and myself, and also have fun at the same time. Like I said, I've been stuck in a small town, South Carolina. It was a small town in South Carolina for all my life. So when I got to Vegas, I was just like, man, it's a whole nother world for me. New adventures, new opportunities, anything can happen. Celebrities pop up any day. Anybody could run into me and I could get famous, because I love writing music. I love making music. I taught myself how to play piano at first, and then they said if you can play piano, you can play guitar. So I picked up a guitar and I taught myself to play the guitar, and then I usually was performing with those instruments until people started bringing speakers around. They would blow me out, so I had to upgrade to a speaker, because at the same time I was always told I had a beautiful voice and stuff, so I kept singing. Since I was a child, I started on the choir with my grandma, and I just kept going. I never stopped singing. Like, people would go out, they work 9-to-5 jobs all their life and spend their whole life building money up just to have it taken from them any moment for any itty bitty incident, a car wreck, dental wreck, or like anything, or a ticket, or it's just too much stuff to take money out your pocket when you're actually working and trying to gain and build something, to where it's depressing, man. It like suck the hope out of you. When you get your paycheck and you expecting to see $1,000, but lo and behold, you got state income tax, federal income tax, medical, social security, all these taxes they taking out, and then as millennials, we was already told that we wouldn't get Social Security benefits when we age up, it'll be out. So that already shattered all hopes of retirement plans for us.
So tell me about the name Alex Maybe Crazy. Why'd you come up with that?
I had a song that I wrote, and it was probably one of my biggest hits. It's still on YouTube. I'm playing it with the guitar, and it's called Some Say I'm Crazy. Well, maybe I am. And that basis pretty much came from how different I am from the rest of my family, and pretty much everybody else in the world. At least in my mind, I feel like I'm different from everybody else, because I actually observe and feel the conscious connection of everything in the universe. Like, it's hard to explain. It's just like, I remember when I was 5, I was looking down at my hands already, wiggling them around and asking myself, how is it that I'm capable of doing this? Like, I have individual control over my limbs and fingers, but anything else, I can't tell my cells, hey, I want wings, so grow me a pair of wings. Like, it's all should be the same concept, because we all started off as single cell organisms that kept dividing each other and multiplying in order to make the organism that we is. So the whole concept of reality really just blew my mind, especially dreams. I had a lot of crazy dreams growing up that I couldn't explain, and I know it was stuff that I never seen before, and that popped the question in my mind, how can you dream of something that doesn't exist? Like, how is that even possible? It can't be possible. So Hey, it was just a long journey for me. And I was raised in a Baptist family, and it was always quoting the Bible and different verses at me and all this and that. So I had to keep reading the Bible in order to counteract their verses, because most people in the world don't really read the Bible or any holy book that they claim to be a part of the religion of. They just go and they listen to whatever preacher they decided to listen to for the rest of their life, and whatever he say is gospel for them. But it never sat right with me. So I always actually pursued and went on a search for religion, God. And
Sought for yourself.
Yeah, I sought for myself all my life. And that kind of made me an outcast in my family. So I was always fending for myself and battling with them and all this and that. Because it's been a long journey when ultimately we surrounded in a world of lies. And the truth is so hard to unveil. But it's hidden in plain sight at the same time. They've just simply changed our perception of what we deem as fact in fiction. And really and truly, everything comes from the same source. You can't have truth without lies, and you can't have a lie without truth. It's all intertwined. It's like the myths and fairy tales and folk legends and all these different religions. It all started with one that had to spread it in order to make two. It's like people just can't just pop up and say, oh, this was this and you all got to believe it. No, they had to prove something to them. They had to actually show some type of miracle or belief to persuade their mind. And being a Christian family, looking at the Bible, I saw science in the Bible, with like in the creation of man, where it said God laid Adam to rest and cut him open and removed his rib, then sewed him back together and made Eve from him. That was a scientific process. He didn't just snap his fingers and say, woe and behold, here go mankind. No, he was put to sleep, gave anesthesia, put to sleep, and surgically worked on. And from the rib, which contains DNA, bone marrow, came woman. And that right there, like, I battled with my family about that for the longest of my life, because I strongly believe there was 2 points in creation. Because before he made the man from the rib, there was a part where it said God created male and female, God created he, them. And that was when he molded man from the darkness that was upon the face of the deep. So, facts that's already being revealed by the scientific community of this day and age, I already knew when I was 10 and 11, which was one, black people are the ancestors of all races on this planet. People don't like to admit that, but the scientific community has already established that all human origin started in Africa, period. 2 black people can make a white baby, but 2 white people will never make a black baby. The albino race by itself came across from black people co-population. And people fail to accept that with all this racism and bigotry in the world. I just find that mind-blowing, because I'm like, how? When your own people that you value their intelligence and their knowledge has deemed and told you that we all started on this African nation. And what? You still mad? You can't accept that? I just never understood that. So being in this world where we are predominantly overran and tyrannically controlled by that said people, I could not find myself in a workplace situation where I'm working to make them and their families wealthier off of my suffering. Like, it's just, they don't care. If you apply for a job, you'll apply for 1 slot in the job, but be working 10 of them. You only getting paid for the one you applied for, but they want you to do everybody else's job at the same time. And if you complain, you get fired. Nothing you can do about it. If you don't hold out 6 months, you can't even complain about being fired, because you're still on probation period. I mean, like, it's just, it's too much. It's just, ain't no point. I'd rather sit here with my God-given gifts and ability, and I keep saying God, and by God I mean group of designers, because I've fought so hard all my life to try and figure out what God meant to me, and that's the only thing I can bring it to be. Every culture, every race, they call God, but they call God by a different name, but it's still being called God. You can call him Allah, you can call him Kami, you can call him Vishnu, Shiva, whatever you want to call him, you still calling them God. But you never translated what God means. And God simply means group of designers. There's nothing else it can translate to. Let us make mankind in our image and in our likeness. There was a group of people already communicating and talking. It was like a scientific organization or some crap. Like, I'm not finna sit here and try and run back in time and say I know everything for a fact, but I know for a certain that it doesn't matter. Everything that was back there led to what's here now. Everything that people believe and see and hope and dream, it came from some type of prior knowledge or experience passed down from ancestors, people who was here long before us. And I accept that. And because I accept that, I believe anything is possible. If giant spaceships started floating down from the sky right now, I would not be surprised. Because I see airplanes flying in the sky. And 100 years ago, they wouldn't have thought that was possible.
Right.
But 200,000 years ago, they already knew it was possible. So how is that possible?
Right.
How can 100 years ago, it wasn't possible to our generations and our great-grandparents' generation, but 200,000 years ago, they already got statues and monuments of the constellations and stars and the outer galaxies. The Mesopotamian race was one of them. Like, I mean, it's just the Sumerian too. It was just mind-boggling for me to know that all this knowledge was out there in this world, already predating what is known today, and people are so blinded by greed and anger and prejudiceness, and it's just, why? Like, we're all gonna die. That is one thing that is a fact. No matter what we do, we are all gonna die.
That is a fact. So tell me about the music.
Oh man, the music is it's my
Got
escape.
your speaker.
Yeah, I got the speaker. I usually have me a little sign up here. It was laminated with my Cash App, Venmo, and all that stuff, but I forgot it one day, so I guess they threw it away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, the music, that was my escape from all these thoughts in my head, man. I got all these thoughts and ideas and questions about life that I just couldn't find no other escape other than music, because it gave me a chance to voice it out. And even if I voiced it out, I could just share it with the world in a sense that they can relate to, because everybody relates to music at some point in time in their life. They done been through something that some song is saying. They might not want to hear it at that moment in their life. They don't want to think about it no more. But at some point, you related to it. And a lot of my music is like that. I sing a lot of music that people can relate to, because like I said, I know that I'm probably not the only one in the world that is suffering mentally the way I am and having these thoughts. So if y'all are, please check me out and hit me up. I love having these conversations with people. So if you resonate with anything I said, just hit me up on Instagram, living_spirit2020. I'll talk to you all day if I'm not out here making money. But yeah. But,
all right. Well, I really appreciate you taking all this time with me. You will definitely see, I will surely share, I did a recording of you singing your original song, and I'm definitely going to share your story and your music.
Oh yeah, and anybody want to support, my Cash App is K441997. Hey, appreciate the support.
Right on. Alex
King.
Alex King may be crazy, maybe not.
Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Who knows?
Love it.
Hey,
peace out. It's Karana out here with Alex King on the fabulous Las Vegas Strip, right at the intersection of the Strip and Sands, between Palazzo, the Wynn, and the Fashion Show Mall. This is where you can find this brother performing every day. His voice made me stop.
Oh yeah.
Blowing Bubbles podcast on the scene. Stay poppin'.
Thank you so